What's good, y'all? It's Julian back with my second video. As y'all may have seen the title already, this is how my ex-girlfriend stabbed me. Yes, it's a true story. It's nothing made up. It's happened about almost 5 years ago at this point now. And this isn't a story to brag about, or I'm not trying to make light of this situation. It was a very traumatic situation that really happened. Just trying to simply show another consequence of when you overindulge in alcohol. It was very scary. Even to talk about it right now, it's kind of tough. It brings up a lot of old emotions and memories of that particular situation, which was almost like a nightmare. And this happened around COVID. So, yeah. But before I get into the story, y'all, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, send this video to somebody you know who may be struggling with alcoholism or any other substance. Again, I made this channel to inspire others and document my self-improvement journey. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me, and we'll continue to grow in 2025, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so let's get into the story, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of background on how I met this particular individual who did this to me. So this goes back to 2018, August. So it was a night on the town with my boys. We went to a particular club in Las Vegas, pretty popular club. If you've been out in Vegas, you probably know. And it was a cool night. It was summer, like towards the end of the summer. And me and my homies, we were in the club, just kicking it. We didn't have a table, so we just pre-gamed, went in there, was in there shooting shots, trying to talk to some bad females. So I met this one girl, tall, curly-haired girl, and we ended up, exchanging information. Saw her in the club a little bit later. Cool. Ended up linking up with her about a week later, and we eventually became like a little thing, a little item, you want to call it that. And our little situation was filled with toxicity. It was crazy, arguing, the whole nine. I can get into that into a later video about the actual relationship with this individual. But for now, I'm gonna fast forward to 2020 when this incident occurred. So anyway, it was May 2020. This was when about 2 months after COVID. And, we were stuck in the house, as y'all remember, lockdowns. Everybody was just in the house, not doing nothing, just watching the same Netflix movies and shows, drinking, and basically eating fast food and just, waiting to see what would happen with this virus. It was nuts, man. Y'all remember that? Wearing masks and we have to stand, 6 feet away from each other. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. So, anyway, May 3rd, 2020. I remember this like it was yesterday, y'all. So it was almost Cinco de Mayo. On this particular day, though, I had woken up and the girl. Let's, for the purpose of the story, let's call her Helen. Okay. So Helen had called me early that day, and she said, "Hey, you want to do a barbecue? We can go get some food. I'm gonna cook, and then I'll come over. We'll kick it." And I'm like, "All right, cool." So I go over there, pick her up. It was early, because she liked to beat the lines, and she had the old fashioned. She was like an auntie with her mentality, which is smart though. Beat the lines. Had a whole bunch of people there. But anyway, so we pull up to the store, grab some stuff for a barbecue, chips, meat, all that good stuff. I drop her back off at her house, and I drive back to my apartment. I think I ended up laying down for another hour, and I ended up getting up, and I was just like, I turned on my phone, and I'm looking at, I don't know if y'all remember the Tory Lanez quarantine when he had it cracking, where he was having girls pouring milk on themselves. He had all the celebrities and stuff. He was taking shots on the live stream. It was lit, man. So in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna turn up too. Shorty about to do some barbecue. I'm about to do a little pregame, get lit. You know what I mean? I ain't thinking too much of it. I'm like, man, it's gonna be a cool day, So I go back to the store, and with the intention of buying a bottle, So I go into the liquor store. I get the cheapest bottle of some Blanco tequila. I can't even remember what it was called. I think it was like Bolivio, something like that. It was super cheap. I think it was like $5 for like a bottle around like this size. But anyway, get the bottle, head back to the house, get back to my crib, and I put the live stream back on with Tory Lanez, right? He taking shots still. I start taking shots. I'm like, turn up, man. It's about to be Cinco de Mayo. It's going to be a good day. The weather was nice. It was like May, so it was warm in Vegas. You know what I mean? So I started taking shots. I must have took like 4 or 5 shots. So then my homie hits me up. He's like, hey, bro, we're going to be coming to campus because I kind of stay close to the campus in Vegas. And they were like, we're going to pull up, like drink, kick it, you know what I mean? Chop it up. We ain't seen each other in a minute because, the COVID. So I'm like, all right, bet. So they end up pulling up. My chick at the time was like, oh, hey, just be ready around like 3 or something like that. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, don't worry, yeah. I would tell her like, hey, my homie's about to come. We about to turn up a little bit, drink a little bit. And she was like, okay, well, I think she was like, don't get too lit because, we still have plans. I'm like, all right, don't even worry about it. You feel me? So then my homies get here. We're walking around, drinking, talking, laughing, just catching up. Girl's calling me, like blowing up my phone while I'm out with them. And she's like, hey, are you coming soon? And da-da-da, because, she was frantic. Like, she already knew because we had past interactions with me being overly intoxicated. And so she was already on alert, like, hey, don't be drinking too much before you get to me because I'm just trying to have a good day. I don't want any drama. I'm like, don't even worry about it. You know what I mean? So I just kept drinking with my homies. So these fools were like, hey, like, let's just keep drinking because I think we killed it was like honey Jack Daniels my boy brought. Mind you, I'm like 5-6 shots deep, tequila, lit already. And so I'm just vibing. And at that point, we killed that honey Jack Daniel bottle, and they were like, hey, let's hit the store and get some more liquor, man. We ain't seen each other in a minute. Like, let's turn up. You know what I mean? It's warm outside. We chilling. I'm like, all right, bet. That was my second mistake. My first mistake was taking all them tequila shots. My second mistake was going to the liquor store to get more liquor. I should have cut it right then. Man, I swear that was my second mistake. It was 5, 6, 7 shots I took before I linked up with the homies. And then we went to the store and got more liquor. So I'm like, bruh. So we go there, get some more liquor. We come back to my apartment. We start drinking some more, laughing, kicking it like old times, like how we used to. Because these were homies I used to like hoop with, go get food with after, drink. And so like we all went to the same college. And so we were just all kicking in my apartment, drinking. Now, y'all, this is where it gets crazy. At that point, old girl's calling me, like, she's still blowing me up, like, where are you at? You're supposed to be here by now, like, and I'm like, don't trip, I'm coming, da-da-da. So then, I black out. That was the last thing I remember, y'all. And after that, I end up waking up in a hospital. Just a hospital bed. Just sitting there, laying. My arm is right here. There's blood patched all under here. My hand is like numb. I got a mask on. They got something connected to my private part. I'm like, what's going on? Like, and I knew immediately when I woke up in the hospital bed, I knew I screwed up because I knew I got too lit. I already knew. And immediately I felt like I got to take accountability for this. I'm like, where is Helen? Like, what's going on? Like, I was so confused, y'all. Like, just imagine you drinking with your homies, and then next thing you know, you're in the hospital. It happened like super quick. It was like a flash, and I was just in the hospital. So anyway, I'm in the hospital bed. I'm laying down. I'm freaking out. I'm like, what's going on? And all the nurses, very accommodating and cool, but they're saying like, oh, yeah, they're talking amongst each other like, oh, there's no nerve damage. He's good to go. Yada yada. I'm like, okay, well, that must be a good thing. I'm like, I'm not too familiar with how this whole thing goes, but they were basically saying there was no nerve damage, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, I don't have my phone. Well, I think I did have my phone. The first person I talked to was my sister, And my sister's telling me the situation. The nurses are also asking me, "Are you suicidal? Did you want to hurt yourself or anything like that?" I'm like, "No, like, absolutely not. Like, what do you mean?" And they're like, "Oh, well, your girl said that, you stabbed yourself." And I was like, "I would never do that. That's crazy." So yeah, anyway, I'm talking to my sister. She's updating me on the situation. Then I end up talking to my mom. She's like, "Yeah." I finally get in contact with her. She's like, "Yeah, what's your name is in jail." I'm freaking out. I'm telling my mom because like I told you, I immediately wanted to take accountability. So because I knew I screwed up. Because this was one of the first time I got super lit and some bad stuff happened, right? So anyway, yeah, I talked to my mom and she's telling me, "Oh, girl's in jail." And I'm like, "God dang." I'm telling my mom, like, please get her an attorney, like help her out. Like, I screwed up. Just whatever happened, I know it's because of me and my actions. And yeah, they ended up keeping me in the hospital for another several days. And yeah, it was a nightmare, y'all. It was a nightmare. But anyway, like I told y'all, I blacked out when I was kicking it with my homies in the apartment drinking. So let me give y'all an account of what happened from her perspective, because she, I gave y'all the first half of the story, but since I blacked out, I wasn't even aware when it happened, when I actually got stabbed. So anyway, so basically what happened, once my friends dipped, they all left because they were like, my ex kept calling me and saying like, "Hey, you need to hurry up, like we had plans." They dipped, which kind of was like, well, they didn't really know I was that lit, so they had their own plans for the rest of the day. So anyway, they dipped. I drive, mind you, blackout drunk. I drive to her house, and luckily she only lived down the street, like 10 minutes. Drive to her. Don't even remember this, y'all. Drive to her, pick her up, and apparently, according to her, I was, rating her and disrespecting her and cussing her out and all this stuff while like extremely intoxicated. And we drive back to my apartment, and she's kind of just like, whatever. I don't want any drama. I just want to eat, and but she already knows I'm super lit. She can tell I'm slurring my words, and I'm acting hostile. So then, anyway, we get back to my apartment, and basically she says that we came in the apartment, and I had a bunch of like empty gallons of water, those like plastic ones, because I was drinking those at the time. And yeah, basically it was just me just acting, belligerent and, saying mean things to her and all this stuff, which was very embarrassing. And this is the type of stuff, it just like, it makes me mad, because I'm like, I'm not that type of person to be hostile and cussing and doing all this extra stuff. It's, it's the liquor. When I've had way too much, I just, and we already had a toxic little situation. So all the anger and resentment from all the arguments, that probably came out, overtly in a disrespectful way, especially since I was, obviously intoxicated. And from that point, she felt really threatened, because I was, yelling at her and all this stuff, throwing like empty water gallons at her on some crazy stuff. And I don't remember any of this. It's wild. And she grabs a knife. And first she calls my mom, then she grabs a knife. And she's telling my mom, like, I'm getting a knife. I'm gonna defend myself. And she's on the phone with my mom, and my mom's like, "No, don't do that, no." And I remember for my mom, my mom was in the situation because she had called her, and she's like, "Yeah, she was on the phone with me, and all I heard was, 'Oh no, baby, da da da.'" And apparently, I guess I followed her outside. I was still cussing her. Mind you, I didn't put my hands on her or anything. I didn't bruise her or nothing. I never put my hands on her. It was just like a verbal assault. And yeah, I guess I walked up to her and she stabbed me. So then I'm bleeding out. She doesn't want to call the police because she's worried, because at that time, with the BLM and all that stuff going on, and she's worried something could escalate given my my state of mind and how I was behaving. So then I'm leaking blood everywhere, right? She doesn't want to call. She's freaking out, panicking. She's on the phone with my mom. My mom's like, "No, da, da, da. Get the car, whatever. She's scared. Like, no, I don't want them to come because I'm scared. So my neighbor, thankfully, he sees this crazy situation going on. He's like, yo, we need to call the paramedics because she's gonna bleed out and it'll be done. And so that's what happens. He calls the paramedics. Ambulance comes. They patch me up, put me in the ambulance, and yeah, I drive off to Sunrise Hospital, and from there it was a crazy situation. I guess she told the police that I stabbed myself, and yeah, they're interrogating her. She has to stay there for like hours until the night. I think it happened around like 3 or 4. She was there. I think she said she was there till like 9. So yeah, my dad comes. They have like yellow tape all by my apartment. Crazy. The police were like, I've never seen a stabbing this bad. According to what I think my old girl had said, that the police were like they had never seen like such a vicious stabbing like this. I was bleeding everywhere. This was a serious laceration, y'all. And I'm gonna show y'all a picture, and I'm gonna show y'all my arm in a little bit. But yeah, basically, I ended up going to Sunrise Hospital. They did a minor surgery on me. Well, not a minor, but you know, they did a surgical procedure on me, and that's when they were saying there was no nerve damage. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, freaking out. And yeah, she ended up going to jail, actually, and you know, because of me and my good mother, RIP my mom, I wanted my mom to get her an attorney. At the time, I couldn't afford to get her an attorney. And my mom got her an attorney. And, you know, the situation happened. She ended up getting out of jail. And, yeah, it was a crazy situation, y'all. It was the most traumatic situation probably I've ever dealt with in my life. I ended up getting out of the hospital a few days later. I had to get a surgery. Well, actually, I ended up going to a hand doctor for a second opinion because my hand was not healing up. They said I had no nerve damage, but my hand was not healing up. And my pinky, I noticed from the jump when I was first in the hospital, my pinky finger was numb, completely numb. And so I'm like, yo, something's wrong. So me and my mother went to a hand expert, and he gave me a second opinion and basically told me, yeah, your nerve has been severed. Basically, yeah, there's nerve damage. Because when she stabbed me, it cut the ulnar nerve, or severed the ulnar nerve, which affects these 2 fingers, if I'm not mistaken, your pinky and this your ring finger. And yeah, basically, the hand doctor was like, I didn't have insurance at the time either, so the hand doctor was like, which by the way was the best in Vegas, from my understanding. Great dude. He told me I had nerve damage. I didn't have insurance. So when I was at the hospital the first time, they ended up signing me up for the basic insurance. And what the hand doctor told me was I had to get surgery to, I needed a nerve from a dead person to put in here so that I could have some functionality. Because when I first got the laceration, my hand was like a claw. Like I couldn't even do this. I couldn't even grip this pin right now. You know what I mean? It was kind of like this. So with the surgery, I was able to finally be able to at least extend, because as y'all may notice, I can't do this motion. I think it's called the flexor abductor. Can't do this with my right hand ever. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And my pinky finger is still numb to this day. But shout out that hand doctor. He ended up fighting to be able to do the surgery for me because, like I said, I had basic coverage, and he said, yeah, you're going to have to, initially he said I had to go with one of these basic providers. And I was reading the reviews, and they were awful. It was so stressful. Me and my mom just kept calling around to see if we could schedule a surgery. And then I remember one of the ladies had told me, yeah, you only have so much time until it's going to be permanently disfigured or, damaged. So I was freaking out, man. I'm like, man, I'm thinking, like, am I going to lose my hand? Like, how bad is this nerve damage? I have no clue. So when he gave me the second opinion, I was like, all right, cool. I really wanted him to do it. And that's what happened. He was a great guy. He ended up, I had to get some type of clearance from the insurance so that they would pay him out to do the surgery. And it happened, man. And I remember going into that that hospital surgery room before they actually give you the anesthesia and all that. It was crazy, man. Like I'll pop up some pictures of the when I first got the staples before I got the second surgery. And yeah, man, it was crazy. When I ended up getting the surgery, it took about 8 hours, and they gave me some anesthesia. I was out, woke up 8 hours later, and yeah, my mom picked me up, took me home. I'm telling y'all, it was the worst pain because I couldn't even talk to. I didn't have any. I was by myself. I couldn't talk to a girl because, according to the police directive, she had to stay away from me. And yeah, so I was in here. My mom stayed with me, but eventually she had to go back to Chicago. And yeah, man, it was traumatizing. It was painful. I suffered a great deal. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't lift. I lost so much weight. I lost strength. I lost muscle mass because I was basically stuck to the couch with the cast on. And yeah, it was all bad, man. It was all bad. The level of pain I felt after the surgery was unbearable. Like, because they gave me pain meds and all that stuff, and the anesthesia. They eventually wore off, and the pain was like nothing you would ever imagine. Just imagine a big gash being stabbed in your arm with it was like a big kitchen knife, and yeah, it was insane, man. So anyway, this is just a story. It was really hard telling this. I've never really told this, especially on a public platform like YouTube. I just told those who were close to me this story. So to my friends and family who I haven't seen, who will see this video, yeah, this really happened. And this is a reason 2025, unfortunately, after that incident, I still continued to drink. You would have thought that I would have learned my lesson after that, but no, still kept drinking. And yeah, even 5 years later, this was almost 5 years ago, May 3rd, 2020. And thankfully, I've been sober now, y'all, for probably about 3 weeks now. And so, yeah, I'm happy I've put that phase behind me. But it's just another instance, y'all, of how much destruction and just tragic situations, being a drunk cost. I just wanted to, like I said, this channel is for me to be transparent. This is a very traumatizing situation, y'all. And I hope through the story, y'all can understand, start to understand, this journey of, bettering myself and just trying to be better. Because now I just feel better than ever, sober. I've been consistent this year, and yeah, just wanted to share that story with y'all. It was crazy, man. I will. Oh, let me show you my arm. So this is my arm right here. Y'all can see the doctor had to cut me open all through here. Goes all the way down here to down in my bottom of my elbow. And yeah, the laceration was actually right there. You might not be able to see it that good. I have to get some extra lighting up in here, y'all. But yeah, it's like a big zigzag, if you can see it on my arm from that day. But anyway, y'all, that's the end of the story. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and y'all learned something from it. Again, I'm not a teacher, like I said in the last video. By the way, I appreciate y'all for giving me those views, likes, and the comments all from that first video. I appreciate the support and the love. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the story. Make sure y'all tap in, like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. I will be uploading more content. I think I'm gonna start doing vlogs and stuff like that. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. I will get with y'all on the next video. Peace.